Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia for today. We're going to be jumping to another session of Epic 7 out today. Got some more Guild War for you guys. Now, of course, before we begin, we have the joke of the day from Icarus. A group of professors were invited to fly in a plane. Right after they were seated, they were informed that the plane was built by their students. All but one got off their seats and headed to the exits in panic. The one professor, Azza, stayed put calmly in his seat, was asked, "Why did you stay put?" To which Azza said, "I know my students. This plane won't even start." True, I mean, I would be terrified if my students were engaged in building any sort of engineering craft, and yeah, the good news is they're so incompetent that nothing ever works. What does that say about my teaching, though? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the first match. So, for the first team, we have Ahmed, Meru, and Aiden, which is, you know, quite interesting. I am certainly curious as to how my team is gonna fare. So as you can see, we're gonna be testing out a new unit. But first of all, we have Karina as our main damage dealer. She is fantastic for doing splash damage and for her true damage through her Rocket Punch Gauntlet. Gonna be very nice for bursting through Aiden's evasion, even on miss. And yeah, she'll be very tanky, and she should be able to one-shot the Meru as well. We got Briar Witch. She's not on Guiding Light because I kind of want the Aiden to hit her to proc the Karina so she can push up. We have our own Symbol of Unity, actually, to guarantee the fact that we can hit Aiden. She is going to be my go-to for that, and because she prevents revives, hopefully she will stay alive long enough for Meru to go down first. Now, what I have here is I'm going to test Elena. And yeah, so this is the build that I currently have her on. She is not very fast, 218 speed, but she is on Magaraha's Tome, which increases her combat readiness by 30% after a non-attack skill. And with her S2, she actually will be able to push herself up as well, 20%. So she can gain 50% combat readiness, which I believe should be enough. Assuming a unit is like 300 speed as an opener, she should be able to cut every time. Yeah, so let's see how she fares. She also has invincibility on her S3, so hopefully we can protect the Briar Witch, but only trying it out will let us know how it goes. For the bottom team, we have Lua, Senya, and Shu, so I have Rowana. And Rowana's here on Celestine. We're going to be healing up the team. We have Pilus here for some damage mitigation, and of course we're going to be bringing in our Lone Crescent Bellona. So she's on plus 30 Sigurd. I'm going to take this tower a bit more seriously because even though some of the units are not fully awakened, it looks like, yeah, some of the defenses have been giving people some issues. So let's go ahead and see what we can do. Hopefully we don't throw the first match and Elena will be able to see the light of day. So it's a fast Aiden. I was aware of that before going in. About 250 speed, so my guildmates actually scouted us out, which is quite nice. So Aiden's gonna go and hit the Bryceria. This will proc the Karina, who cuts in front of the Meru. Now, what I'll do is this. I'm gonna go ahead and hit this Aiden right here. I'm gonna save the S3 for the next turn, because as you can see, the Meru is invincible. That actually hit Aiden, and I did not want that. Because I really wanted to use Elena's S3 off of the Aiden's counter, but I guess that's fine, because we can just go for this and let Aiden counter into the invincibility, so that works as well. If Meru procs Magic for Friends, which she doesn't, that would have also been fine. The unfortunate thing is Bryceria actually loses her immortality and her invincibility here, so she might be going down, but that should be okay. She's kind of done her job. She took out the Aiden. Meru is going to be taking her out now. Kind of unfortunate. Which means that Meru can actually revive here. Oops. But look at that. Look at the counters into my invincible Karina. Beautiful. Right, so let us go for an S3 onto the Ahmed. We'll use this to hopefully kill her with the splash. Come on. Oh, yes. Okay, Meru almost went down there, so we're fine. Let's go ahead and finish her off with Elena. She's going to revive, but Karina should have this. It's Soul Burn. So Bryceria was a sacrifice, but in the end, I think it turned out quite well, yeah? Elena, doing pretty decent. You know, my tuning could have definitely been better. But it's actually legit my first game testing her out. Just recently built her up. And quite excited to see what else she can do in Guild Wars. Hopefully people have more cleave-based teams. Neither of these teams are really cleave-based. So that's where Elena tends to shine. Alright, nice. We got the immunity buff. Let's go ahead and hit the... Let's hit the shoe. There we go. And she will pop her S3, which is fine. I'm going to use Pylus's S3 to just kind of cleanse the team, because I don't want this Beguile doing anything to me. Okay, so let's go... Oh, actually we can't. We were reset by Lua, but she was hit out of stealth, so we can at least go ahead and provoke her. And, ooh, we can't actually heal with Rowana, so this is why we're on Celestine. Look at that. Celestine healing up the Pilus for quite a bit, and if you hit into this Senya, when she counters, Rowana heals some more. Oh, that defense break on the Pilus is not looking great, though. Okay, the good thing is, we got nice little counter-ins for some healing. Do I pop the S3? I don't think so. I will hit the Senya to get a bit more counter into me, so I get a bit more healing. Because Shu is going to hurt. Yes, indeed. Alright, but we do get to heal here, so that's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do now is... Pilus is going to S3 into the Lua. We're going to have Rowana's heal. That's going to come back up, which is quite nice. So by provoking the Lua over and over, we're actually preventing her from doing her S2s and S3s. Thankfully, my Pilus is a counter goddess. Wish I got these counter procs in RTA, but that's fine. Let's go into the Shu. It's Soul Burn. This should be enough damage to take her out. Oh, actually, no, it's not. Okay, but yeah, look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, there's a 15% little resist going on. We are in Sigurd range with Vigor, so this should be taking out... Yes, there we go. Senya is down for the count. Can Pilus get rid of the Shu? Yes, she can! There we go. Very cleanly finishing off the Lua. Very nice. The top tower is now defeated. Now, the other good thing is that the middle and the bottom tower are also down, so we have the stronghold available. Now, of course, it's time for game number 2. We're going to be attacking this tower down here. Now, it seems like they have a pretty decent defense here. I have to go for a smaller tower because the other two forts are down and the stronghold is open. So, yeah, let's hop in here. And this was one of the few teams actually on this guild that actually had a kind of a cleave setup for one of their teams. We got Ron, Meru, and Aiden. Not sure how fast these units are, but we're going to be putting Elena to the test here. So she should be able to cut the Ron after he S3s, and she should push up and heal the team, and then I'm going to be able to put up an S3. Now I hope that procs Magic for Friends, and I hope it procs Aiden's counter, because that way, my units will be quite slow, right? So my units are around 200 speed here for the Bad Cat Armin. I'm gonna use Bad Cat Armin to try to do some shenanigans with this Karina. Now I know Karina doesn't benefit from the crit damage buff, but into Aiden and Meru, I think Karina is pretty decent. There's no other unit that I really found that would have had a decent matchup here while being an ice element. I want an ice element so that Meru could not do shenanigans, and that I would have a neutral element into Ron. I contemplated going for something like Milim, but if Ron procs an RNL or something like that after he S3s, then he's going to S1 to Milim and she's going to go down. So really would like to try that out, but Ron makes it a little too risky. For the bottom team, we're going to Lua, Senya, and Shu. So I'm going with my Lilius, who is on Ancient Dragon's Legacy, so that she can revert Lua's S3. And the other good thing is that she actually has an imprint on her, so with the attack imprint, Zahak and Kawazu be getting a little bit more help. Now, have to move Zahak over back to his symbol of unity, just to grab a little bit more damage. Take that off the Briar Witch, who had fallen from previous matches. Yeah, so Zahak will be great into the Shu. He's going to have that additional attack power to kind of burst through her. And Kawazu here, we're still having him on Indestructible Gators, which helps increase his attack and potentially gives him another chance to burn. Now, this is actually a great artifact to use into Senya, because if you make a non-crit, there's a chance for you to proc the burn. And Senya having natural anti-crit built into her kit, it's going to work out quite nicely, I hope. Now, I can't ignore resistance because I don't have the vigor buff up, but hopefully it's going to be enough to burst her down regardless. So let's jump in and see what we can do. This first match is going to be very exciting because we get to see what Elena can do into these faster units. She's actually a really good unit for these Guild Wars. Right, so we see... Ooh, Karina countering because of the Bad Cat Armin. Look at that. We get the nice little heal. We get to push up. And now I get to pop my S3. It actually hits the Aiden, unfortunately. But the good thing is we actually ended up proccing the magic for friends. Now what I'll do is I'll go for the S1. It is an AoE, but the reason I'm gonna go for it here, I think, is ooh, actually, this Aiden's gonna S3 into my Bad Cat Armin, right? So let's go for the S3 into her. Hopefully we miss so that she does her counter. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Allow her to do her counter here, which is perfect. She's gonna go for the S3. Unfortunately, she actually stripped my defense buff, I think. Yeah. So that's not great. Oh my god, look at that damage that's coming out here. Karina popping off. We're getting that burst damage. The unfortunate thing is Meru is gonna be going, and I think our Armin is gonna go down. So there goes our little fun gimmick. Oh yeah. That is gonna be a lot of damage. Ron should be able to finish her off. Which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Oh man, okay, well, Karina should be able to finish things now. We just go for the S3 into the Meru. This should finish off the Ron too. We actually have a defense buff, and should be enough damage. The Ron is pretty squishy. Yep, there we go. So Meru doesn't have the attack buff anymore. She is still gonna crit both my ice units, but Elena popping off and getting some heals in. So I think it's not too bad. Could I have executed it better? Probably. But I want to do some funny stuff with Bad Cat Armin. And I think in the end, worth it? I don't know, you guys tell me. Whoa, okay then. This is a very slow Lua. Alright. So let's go for the push-up on the Kawazu. And I'll just go ahead and attack the Shu. I'm not complaining about a slow Lua. Let's go for it. No vigor buff on my Zaha because I don't have C. Lilius here. Shu is going to counter, but that's quite alright. We should be able to get this kill if we land 2 burns. If we get a 3rd one, that'll be perfect. Oh, very nice. Okay, so we got 2 burns. Hopefully it's enough to kill. Ooh, that's actually not what I wanted Lilius to use her provoke on, but it should be fine, because no matter who dual attacks here, she will be going down. And there we go. Lua's gonna do her things, but I think we're at the point where we should be fine now. Yeah, so yeah, Fire Lilius goes ahead and cleanses the sleep regardless, and I think we're good. Yeah, Zahak able to take down Lua. Not too bad, not too bad. I think even if Lua went first, we would have been able to do exactly what we just did, right? And it still would have worked. So, not bad. And now it is time for the 3rd and final battle. We have our Stronghold, and it looks like my guild's been doing pretty decent into these teams. There are not the conventional meta defenses that you see here, which also makes it quite interesting because we have a Para, Rowana, and Violet in the first team. The Para actually makes it so we can use our Elena. Now, I have changed our artifact to Doctor's Bag for this fight, so we can at least cleanse the unbuffable and the restrict from the Para, so that we can make sure that Wanda is fully cleansed. I don't want the unbuffable on her so that she can enter stealth. Now, I'm also bringing in Ning Ning. And Ning Ning's going to help the damage output of our Wanda by giving her the attack buff. Now you notice that I've slowed down my Ning Ning. I've actually switched her boots out for this random, really bad HP boot actually. But I switched her speed boot out for an HP boot to bring her speed down to 250 something, just in case this is a Para that is slower than my actual Ning Ning build. Moving to the bottom team, we have Yolha, Arby, and SSB. Now, what I'm going to do here is bring Ahmed. And with Ahmed, I'm using her on the Fan of Light and Dark, which is her own artifact. It's going to help push up our Lilibet. Now, before we get to that, though, we have Ron here to help buff our Lilibet with some attack, although that will be happening with Ahmed anyway, because we are on Silver Rain. He's going to be here mostly to try to defense break this Arby and Bellona and potentially strip off any immunity that's on this Bellona too. I want the immunities gone because Lilibet has her S2, which allows her to inflict a bunch of bleed. Now with the bleed, she gains extra combat readiness, which should be fine for us since we will be using Ahmed anyway, so we'll be taking the turn regardless with Snip Snip, and then we'll be able to use her S3 Soul Cutter and hopefully extinct the Arby. We're on Portrait to deal some extra damage, and yeah, she's on an attack, she's actually hilarious, she's on an attack set, and she's rocking about 227 speed. So really wanted to give her a go because she is on some really wonky spare gear. So yeah, we're gonna have two little mini debuts here in the form of Elena and our Lilibet. So yeah, as you can see, this Para is actually just barely faster than my Ning Ning, so it's a good thing that I slowed her down. Doctor's Bag going in and cleansing for the team, which is quite nice. And Elena's EE is actually on the one where I get to, when I use her S3, she cleanses a debuff from everyone, so that allows her to get rid of the unbuffable. Violet's gonna counter, but that is quite alright. And now we just go for the S3. We're going to barrier invert everybody. This means that we're going to take Para's barrier and deal damage equal to it to her. She's actually stripped out of her stealth. That doesn't really matter all too much, although I could just finish her off here. I think what I'll do is, yeah, let's go ahead and just finish off this Para. Get her out of the way. Wanda has an attack buff. Oh, nice. We got a target debuff on the Violet, so it's gonna deal quite a bit of damage, this S3. Oh yeah, look at that, 19k damage, absolutely beautiful. And now it is smooth sailing. Love being able to use Wanda in Guild Wars. It is very, very satisfying. Look at that, we're able to get another target debuff there. She is on Stella Harpo, which is a little annoying, but that should be fine. Let's go ahead and try to push her back here. There we go. Get that attack buff for Wanda. And just keep chipping away at this Rowana. We should be able to get our S3 back up soon. Either that or Ning Ning gets the strip here. Let's go ahead and barrier invert. This Rowana actually giving barriers on her S1 really helps me out. There we go. Very nice. And we get to push back again. Alright, and this should finish... Oh, actually it doesn't finish her off. Let's see. We might need to use Wanda's S3 on her next turn, so let's go ahead and finish her off here first, and then we'll try using her S3 on the next one. Alright, this Ning Ning's turn cycling is actually quite insane. Look, she's just repeatedly pushing up the Wanda and attack buffing her, so now let's go ahead and soul burn this, and this should finish her off. Yeah, there you go. Wanda! Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so this is the team I was quite curious about. It is a slow Arby. Ooh. Is that a degen RB? Now I'm a little concerned. Well, let's go ahead and put the immunity up on everybody. If he's a counter RB, then I don't want him to push back my Lilibet or anything with a counter. Let's go for this. Ooh, no defense break on anybody. Well, let's go ahead and put the skill null up. And let's go ahead and buff the Lilibet. Now the good thing is, there's no immunity or anything going on the other side, so let's go for this Bellona, see if the S2 kills. The S2 does kill, so Lilibet with a quick 1-2, look at that, finishing off that Arbiter Vildred. Nice, nice. And Yoha is now the last one standing. So the problem is, Yoha has this reflect damage, and it's gonna hurt quite a bit. Let's see if we can land a bleed. Nope, full resist. That kind of sucks, but Yoha's gonna pop this into the... Should be popping this into the Ron. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do about this to save the Ron. But there she goes, popping off her barrier, ripping her S3. It's a 24k HP Yoha, so not the tankiest, but down goes Ron. She's going to heal up quite a bit, actually. I'm going to save the S2 so that I can... Do we do this? No, we don't pop the S3 yet. We're going to save it. Okay. So now watch this. We're gonna go for the. We're gonna put the skill null back up. This is for playing it safe. And let's go ahead and buff the Lilibet. Now we have our S2 back up, I think, because of our turn cycling. We have our crit damage buff and attack buff. I'm going to go for the S2, because we have the swift attack buff. Even if we don't land our bleeds, it's okay, because we get 50% combat readiness from our S2 anyway. So there we go. Now I'm going to soul burn this, and crit damage attack buff Lilibet. Let's go! 18k damage. Lilibet's multipliers on our soul burn are still quite insane. So there you have it, guys. 3 matches down. Elena, pretty nice unit, and you got to see one of my secret units, which is the Lilibet, rocking some spare gear. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.